result of my cooking. I've got that little stove out there, which is great. I try to make sure, I keep on reading about all these people that, I got this, that die of propane, you know, from propane or something. So I always try to just, when I'm done cooking, I disassemble everything and like that's out there and get cooling down. This here is just actually butter, French bread. It doesn't look too good, honestly, but it tastes really good. Butter. I found out that the spreads don't really go well with my stomach. So I got real butter, cheese, and then I've got this kosher salt shaker deal, and it's pretty good. It's pretty delectable. So how's it going? So this is my campsite currently. So we've got this evergreen here, which is very handy to have because in wintertime it's going to disguise this area. And then this here, I got this a couple weeks ago. It really helps, especially when it's going to start to rain. I've got some new wheels for it because these things are plastic and they're going to die soon. But like I've got my backpack in here and some groceries. I just found myself walking with groceries and all kinds of stuff, and it was just too much. My tent shoes now, I got some new boots, which are super handy. They were on sale, so I got those with my YouTube cash, which I'll probably end up just getting some of those Sorel type deals, the waterproof ones. But this is my tarp right here, and I've got it held up with bungees. Some people like paracord. I don't like paracord. It feels weird to me, and then like you cut it and the inside comes out. I know it's supposed to be high tensile strength and all that stuff, but for me, it's too much. But over that way is the road, about 100 feet, 150 feet. I'm actually going to be moving my tent back there, somewhere back there, which is harder to get to. It's like this whole primordial thing. It's like everywhere you go, it's like you got to go through this. This is what everything looks like, which is good because it means nobody's been back there. But it also means in order to find a spot, I need to, and I got a new tent today. Thank you guys for the donations. That really helped ease my mind. But this is a Coleman. I wanted to get another gear top, but like I had ordered an Invoker mattress pad through Amazon to get general delivery at the post office up here, and they lost it twice. And so I obviously can't trust them. I got my money back, but wow. I'm actually just going to get, what I did last year was get a, like right now I just got like a dog pad or whatever, and that helps a little bit. But I'm just going to get like a queen size 1.5 inch memory foam folded over twice, so it's like in thirds. It'll be like 2 feet wide, and then I'll wrap it up in duct tape and contractor bags. And that's it. And then like for this tent is, oh my gosh, this tent is, it's okay. It's Coleman, so the zipper will last a little bit longer. But it's like goodness, what is this? 10 foot by 3 meters, which is basically 10 by 12, I guess. I don't know. I hate when they do that. Like, use the metric system or use the other system, whatever that is, you know. 1.8 meters, so it's 1 times. Okay, so it's like almost like 11.5 feet or something, I think, which is going to be good because what I'll do, and even though it's only 6 feet wide going back, what I'll do is I'll set the tent up kind of like this way. I'll put this tent inside it. I'll take the rain fly off, and I'll just like layer it on top and on the sides with sleeping bags, and that way, you know, it'll act as a sort of insulating barrier for me. I did get another tarp. I love this tarp here. I just love it. There's a vinyl one, and I had it from before the trek, and you know, it's just really good. The only thing I don't like about it is, ow. So see that up there, that thing that kind of comes up there, right there. It had another one, and it came off like real easy. But other than that, like these side ones are pretty solid, and it's kept me dry and everything. But I got a bigger tent, a 13 by something tent, or not tent, but it's in here. I bought it today. I got it off Amazon to the Amazon locker. But I got this tent. It looks like a small one, but it's going to be pretty big. It's 6 feet tall, 6-person, which would be, what I'm planning on doing is having an area, like I'll have that kind of toward the back, and I'll have like 2 feet in the front here, right, inside, and then I'll get like a chair, one of those metal chairs that I could sit down, take off my shoes, and maybe I'll have a bin or something. I'll still have stuff inside, but like the inside of my tent is really getting pretty packed with stuff, just having clothes and all that crap. But like I told you guys, I got a stove, so what I do with this is once I empty it, I'll flip it on its side right here and I'll cook with it. But I wanted this is kind of the before, I would like to do, that's my bathroom area. I've actually decided I'm going to get one of those shovels or trowels online or something, and just dig. And what I think I'll do, you can't really tell, I don't think. Sometimes you can tell because when you urinate in the same area for a long time, it gets kind of black. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig like a little small, like 1 or 1.5 foot pit type deal, and I'll keep some. Like I don't drink coffee, but I heard coffee grounds are good for like covering that smell or whatever. So I'll just get some coffee and sprinkle that on there daily or whatever. Maybe some vinegar, or maybe I'll just get something to cover it up with like a lid or something. I don't shit in the woods. I haven't since I've been here. I mean, I have in my life, but there's really no point. There's plenty of bathrooms nearby and roundabouts. But yeah, that's what we're looking at here. As soon, all of this stuff is going to be all brown. You'll be able to see, houses down there and whatever. So from here, there's just there's supposed to be a creek going back here. But I haven't seen evidence of it. But at the same time, that's normal for the Pacific Northwest. Once it starts raining, it doesn't stop. And who knows, this might get flooded over. And one reason I got this one as opposed to a Walmart tent, even though it's like 3 times as expensive, is because it's got the bucket bottom. And the bucket bottom creeps up the side like the baseboard type thing. Whereas the Walmart tent, it has a bucket bottom, but it doesn't have the sides that go up, so it does really no good, really. So I want to get to a point where if it does flood or something like that, then I've got a little bit of space to rely on in a way. But anyway, that's it, guys. I'm calling it a day. I'm really tired. I had a long day, and I'll catch you up later. So I'm back in the bush a little bit here. It's kind of crazy. I told you, it was all like the primordial bush, what Lewis and Clark must have experienced coming through, They'd be lucky to make a mile a day, but, so this is the spot. I've been kind of clearing it out. I did get a tent yesterday, thanks to a kind donation, and it was a Coleman 10 by 6, I think, which is not ideal, but it's better than the name brand Walmart tents. But I'm going to set it up right here. So I've got to clear out that and that, right? And then all the way around, it's got sticks. When the leaves go down next month, I'm going to want this. The ground is kind of bumpy. It's kind of bumpy down here. I don't like that, but I'll just have to either get a shovel or something and kind of dig out a little spot for where where I'm going to be laying down, or if I have enough money this year, maybe I'll get like a cot, like a camping cot. I don't know about that yet. I don't really actually know where I am right now. I know my tent is over that way, I think, my other camp spot, but I'm not sure. I think the road's over there, strip mall over there somewhere, and I don't know where I am, but that's a good thing, because it means that, I mean, that little spot down there has got me a little concerned. It looks like a coyote den or something down in there. You can't really see it, but let's see. Right in there, it's like a little, but you know, I don't know, whatever. But this is good. This is really good. And it means I'm going to have to cut down a lot of stuff. Well, not too much stuff, just this 10 by, I'd say 10 area. Dig a latrine somewhere, and this will be it. And then I'll feel comfortable here, because it took a little bit getting into here, which means anybody else coming back here, they're going to be like, what? But it's involved enough to get back here that I feel fairly comfortable. Now I just got to load all my stuff up and bring it here. I think we're going to do stage 1 today, is just clear out more of these sticks everywhere, and then kind of clear the ground a little bit, and then we'll come back tomorrow. I hate leaving my stuff. Like I bought that new tent, and it's just sitting at my camp spot, which is, I guess, okay, you know, but I'm just, wow, it's a lot of work doing this, and I hate moving. You know, I know there's people out there that hate moving from residence to residence. Moving a camp is sometimes easier, but sometimes you're carrying everything, each load, and in order to get back here. I'm guessing I'm probably 300 feet back from where I was. And so, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's cool. I like this spot. Now you gotta figure out how to get back to my tent, you know? Going. I'm sweating like a dog. Let's see, this is the new tent. It's like 6 feet high. Probably higher. It's like, if I read that wrong, it wasn't 6 feet, it was 6 meters, or no, not 6 meters, 3 meters? I don't know. No, it's 12 feet by 10 feet, so, but I got this set up. This is actually, I'm debating on this, but for right now, this black here, I got it inside out, right? Because I don't want to be able to see it. I didn't realize it would have such a large profile from the outside. So right now it's just going to stay black. But this is going to be the camp spot. I'm going to put my other tent inside here, probably back there. And then, and yeah, this spot's, I think, a good spot, but I'm tired. Just getting all this stuff up has been a real pain. But I'm about to head back to my other camp spot, and then probably rest, and then start moving stuff over. Pretty big tent, and I think I had a tent this size, or this wide. I think I had an 8 by 12 or something, so close. But it will just definitely was not this tall. I do have a tarp. It's a coffee colored tarp, so I'm gonna put that on top of it. Just to kind of, I always like to have like I don't want to come out of the tent and have rain beating on my face, right? So this way, and I've got to do something with that. I'll probably end up turning it over, because it's got these little Velcro things to take a little bit of the pressure, like right here, right? That's supposed to go on the pole. I've got one here, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get a can of spray paint and spray paint all these like yellow day glow crap off. But this is the start of it, guys. Just wanted to add this. Guys, so this is it. I just cleaned up my camp. Well, I'm gonna take those. I got my backpack in here. My tent is way back there. I'm gonna take these bags and kind of scatter the sticks. I want to make it like nobody was living here as best I can. But check it out. I just got finished moving basically all my stuff. I'm sweating and just feeling kind of tired, you know. But then I look up here and I'm like, wow, look at that. Holy crap. That is so pretty right there, man. It's just, but like, it doesn't look it now, but a minute ago the sun was shining directly on it, and it was just so, like a bright yellow. It was crazy. But I'm about to head to the library. I gotta go to Walmart, and then maybe I can rest a little bit. So I'm going to show you the path to, so I come in over there, way back about, I don't know, 50 feet. And then, you know, went through this primordial bush. I don't know what this white thing is for. Probably a construction project that never went anywhere. But that's the tent. Right now it's a little bigger than I had anticipated. It's 7 foot tall almost, really. And see, I've got the bungee cords. The only part that's not really covered is like this corner over here as much, but I think that's fine. The main thing was just kind of getting it up. It rained a little bit last night. I don't like it when the top of the tent touches it, so I may try to put something on top of it to give it a little bit of loft and not be. This rainfly is actually blue, but I like the black underneath it too much better. But as you can see, it's a humongous tent. It's a humongous tent. Humongoloid. The door is almost bigger than my old tent. So inside it, I don't know if you can see, but I've got my other tent inside it. And currently I only have one sleeping bag, but as winter rolls around, I'll cover my entire two-person tent in stuff. And then this is just kind of miscellaneous, my cooking supplies and all that. That's, you know, you probably can't see it. Wonder if I can do this. So, yeah. So that's where I sleep. I bought a cot because normally I'm good with the ground, but digging this stuff up was not an option. It was just very hard. But I went ahead and put that in there. I got my certigrade bag. It's a big guy in here. I got my stove, a butane burner stove, my pot, which actually I didn't realize it, but a pot and a big spoon or a spatula. That's all you need. You don't need utensils, really. I do have utensils, but most of the time I just use the spatula. And as you can see inside my tent, it's nothing very special. My food is there, and like water and stuff. Clothing over there. This goes down the middle. And then also, you know, I think this tent is rated. Not the tent, but the cot. The cot is supposed to be. It's a zipper one from Ozark Trail. I saw mixed reviews, but I needed something. I wanted to get. They had a mattress, but that would have been so bulky. You got to consider your stealth options. You know what I mean? Like, you got to consider it all. And you know, I still have to get a memory foam and put it there, wrap it up in contractor bags and stuff. And but overall, the cot is really doing me in good stead. I did put like my dirty clothes underneath it because it's rated for 300 pounds. I'm 310 or something, which is probably the most I've ever weighed in my life. But you know, depression just destroys your body in different ways. So whatever. But that's it for the tour right now, I guess. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, how's it going? Hobo Yeti here on Sunday. I don't know what the date is, but yeah, I moved into my new digs, which is, I don't know, the tent is probably 13 by 10 or 13 by 12. It's pretty big. It's bigger than I have ever had in my life. I'm not super comfortable with the size of it. This is too big. It seems ostentatious almost, right? But I've got like this tent, my smaller tent inside. I could actually probably fit another 3 tents like this in here. And I've got right up here, I've got a sleeping bag that kind of sits on the top a little bit. I'm going to have to rig it up so that there's one covering all sides and still leave an area to vent. And hopefully this will do me in good stead for the winter. But it's a big tent, and it's got like this blackout technology or something like that, which is basically just, it gets really dark in here, so I'm using like the flash type thing for my video,
deal, and then I've got a big tarp on the outside that's kind of bungee corded together. I'll do a video of it when I can. Right now I'm just kind of, you know, I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update, let you know how things are going. It's raining again, which is, you know, this is going to be the new normal of Portland, which is fine. It's going to be the new, you know, the new normal. And but, you know, I'm kind of in the bush a little bit. Like, there's no way that somebody would just happen across, you know, my tent, really. And even from, like, when you come into the woods, there's like a grassy area and stuff over there. When you come into the woods, even just looking straight back is like 50 feet away. Like, this is very well disguised. Of course, when all the leaves go away, I don't know, I'm thinking of getting some, like, I've got a coffee brown tarp, a vinyl one, and what I'm thinking of doing is getting some spray paint or some kind of paint and put it on sticks and stuff, and, you know, spray the twig or whatever, and then hit the, or snap it onto the tarp in different spots to kind of create a little, my own sort of camouflage look type thing, to kind of mesh with what's going on around here. But I don't know, it's okay. I've got my stove out here. I don't, you know, it's kind of big. It's just, I just feel very uncomfortable with it right now. It's but the fact that, you know, like the condensation in the winter time, it's going to not going to affect my immediate, you know, surroundings, and I'll be able to keep an area of warmth in here, which would be really cool. I got bit by, or stung by, wasps, hornets. I think they were yellow jackets. They live in the ground. I've seen them before, and, you know, I'm pretty much a live and let live kind of guy for the most part. You know, and I see them go into the ground, into this hole where they, you know, I was like, okay, well, whatever. But, and then like 2 weeks ago, I got bit by, like, 2 of them attacked me. And then just the other day, I was just, you know, leaving here, day before yesterday, I was leaving here to go, and I mean, they were like, one of them flew into my mouth and bit my tongue. I was like, what the heck? It was like disturbing. I've never had that happen, being swarmed like that. And the thing is, you know, the manuals and things like that online, they say don't freak out, don't move around too much. But when they're biting you like that, you can't do anything but you can run, but then they'll follow you, which they did. I threw all my stuff on the ground. I threw, you know, and I was running, but I'm out of shape and old, and you know, I wasn't able to go very far. But then they would attack me again, and I kept on running, and I was like, what the heck, you know? And then, you know, I got, like, along the backside of my neck real bad, or, you know, the crease in my neck, I suppose, about, like, still within the hairline. My arms, not really my legs. I think I got 1 or 2 bites there, but along the, like, I was reaching up to kind of cover my head, and in that, my shirt was being pulled up, and they just bit the crap out of my back. And it is, I got some citrazine, which is like Zyrtec, but I can't find it now because everything is really, everything is weird in the tent. Like, it's all discombobulated. It's you know, I've got a cot now, to keep me off the ground and stuff, but now it just seems everything's disorganized, and I don't know how to organize it yet. But yeah, like, I've got these wasp bites or whatever. I did get some steroid cream, and yeah, and it wasn't bad. I didn't have any kind of reaction. I did feel dizzy for a while, but doing okay now. I just gotta be real careful, you know, to avoid those kind of situations. Be more aware. I guess I don't know. Maybe it's just over that spot over there. But anyway, guys, I don't know what's going on in our country, but it is crazy, right? Like, this whole regime, this whole setup they've got going on is just crazy. And, like, I keep on seeing these videos where people are getting, these masked dudes are attacking people. They're not even, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you'll see cops, like, I don't know, nab somebody, and it's just a different level. Like, it's almost like these ICE agents are like like amateurs, right? They're just like throwing people to the ground and putting their knee on their backs, and it's just weird. It's like, yes, we see cops do that, but it's not. It's just not the same. It's like it's more like a terror kind of action to invoke terror, to invoke harm and fear, a fear response, right? And I don't know, like I don't even know what to say about that. Like I'm not in a and a lot of us in this country, where you hear a lot of stuff on social media and people are speaking out about it, but there's nobody that's changing it that I can see, right? And maybe there are, but it's like I don't know. It's that same for homeless folks. It's kind of the same line, we feel sorry for homeless folks, but instead we're just going to get rid of them. We're going to kick them out of their tents and throw them in a shelter and with nothing and not really help. That's kind of the thing. It's like the belief of it, but there's no action behind it that rewards, that is a reward for that belief, right? It has to be a mandated action. It has to be like set in stone and be like, this is what's going to happen and this is what we're going to do, and then do it, right? But there's just a lot of people pointing out like, these are bad. Like who's in charge of ICE, right? Who's in charge of these people that is letting them do this, right? I mean, they have to have, I assume that their bosses, since it's happening in multiple places, it's like, yeah, we want you to bring terror to America, right? That's what it's saying. And so, like, I don't understand, like, and I don't believe we live in a country where, like, a political leader can just do the things that the president's doing. I just don't believe it. That's, I mean, and yes, he's getting rid of all of his naysayers, and I don't want to talk about this anymore. Hey guys, so I'm just sitting in my tent. I'm not even going to focus this on anything. That's my pot outside the tent. I'm sitting inside. For the last week or so, I've just been stuck almost. It reminds me of 9/11. You guys remember 9/11 when, like you were just glued to the TV for 24 hours for like the whole week, like a train wreck that you couldn't look away from, and then it was a traumatic event just watching it, right? America be attacked, and it was just this whole, it was tragic and heartbreaking in a lot of ways, right? Like people jumping out of the towers, and it was just horrific. And this past week I couldn't figure out what's been wrong with me. I just have had very little energy. I've just been very exhausted almost. I'm feeling good. I'm for the first time in my life, I'm feeling pretty good with regards to like the depression and all that. But I was like, well, what's the point? If what's the point of being better? How can I, YouTube's cutting my revenue, cutting a lot of people's revenue, right? And so, but not only that, it's like this country is turning into this sort of authoritarian regime, and it's disturbing, these like you see these people getting thrown down in public. I mean, like I said earlier, it's like, it's to inspire terror. It's not, and like, so with that 100-mile radius of the borders, basically, and I am in 100 miles from the border, right? So these ICE agents could just come in. They don't need a warrant. They don't need to tell you who they are. They don't need to show their faces, and they're just beating people up, right? They're beating people up. That's what they're doing. They're not. It's like there'd be there'll be like 4 ICE agents, right? And there'll be one guy that does the actual attacking, and the other 4 just stand around looking for other people to try to interfere so they can, they can drag them in too, and it's just, I mean, on the one side, I'm still pissed off that, when the homeless were getting their eviction notice in DC and other places, like Oklahoma and you know, with the Operation Safe down there. You know, the thing is like people are, you know, their basic human rights are being deprived, right? And they're being criminalized for being homeless, and nobody really gave a shit about them. No, you know, suddenly though we have the ICE agents like attacking people, deporting people, and taking them off to prisons and stuff, and suddenly people care. And so there's a hypocrisy there that really pisses me off. That, you know, suddenly, I don't know. It just, anyway, I'm not going to go off on that yet. But it's just very disturbing for me. But true, the ICE agents are taking people, and they're just like, you know, they're destroying people. They're terrorizing America under the orders of our commander in chief. Which, what the heck, right? And so, even though mentally I've been better, I've been traumatized by what I've been seeing out there, and seeing like, well, this is like 1930s Germany, right? Like, what's next? And it just keeps on getting worse and worse, you know? I was doing some research, and I found out that, you know, so Trump has been posting these memes, this fake news kind of crap, right? This AI generated fake news type stuff. And like he's what was it? One of his executive orders was, or one of, I don't know if it was an executive order or not, but it was like pass something into law that was like people can't be like freedom of, it was supposed to be like freedom of the press and stuff like that, but he's using it to create these fake memes and lies. Basically, he can, you know, I don't know. I'm really, but it's really kind of like, in my view, I'm like, well, I can barely make money as it is with this channel, and it's been cut for some reason. And then, but in addition to that, the government, like, you know, what's it going to be like? We're turning into a police state, right? Like, everything's going to be, you know, like that stuff about anti-Christian, anti-capitalism. What? Like, what is going on here? Like, and I see a lot of people, I see a lot of stuff out there where people are pointing this out, but it's like Coney 2012, where everybody was like, well, just press like and maybe somebody will do something. I'm telling you, we all need to do something. Like, there's going to be a No Kings protest on Saturday. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how that changes anything, though. I mean, the thing is Trump and his cronies, his jackbooted thugs, are not, you know, going by the law. They're not. They're doing things outside of the law. Sorry, I keep on hearing like a pterodactyl or something outside my tent, and I'm just, I don't know what it was. It sounded like a pterodactyl, but yeah, like, you know, he's going to continue doing these, you know, illegal maneuvers, and terrorizing the human populace until it turns into an authoritarian regime. And then what can we do? Like, we're just kind of stuck. And yeah, that I like the whole resistance with the frog suit and all the different costumes and stuff that were in Portland. But the thing is, can you imagine? I mean, like, yes, it works for now. I mean, it shows the juxtaposition of, you know, Americans standing up for freedoms and things like that. But in a real, like, I assume that there's going to come a time where, you know, that's not, I just don't see that in, like, authoritarian regimes. They would just shoot you in the freaking head, you know. They don't care if you're wearing a costume, you know. It's all theater right now, and nobody seems to be taking action, or at least, you know, I see a lot of people talking about it, but nobody in power is taking action. I don't know, like, we need to stop this, you know. And yeah, maybe the No Kings protest will do something, will spark something, will spark people to stand, will, you know, maybe it'll spread like a virus and people will be able to stand up. But, like,
I don't see that changing anything, and that fills me with a lot of dread. And I've the past week or so, I've been trying to come up with a video idea. I just haven't had one. I mean, I have had one. I want to do like a homeless survival in a SHTF sort of scenario, and specifically this scenario. And I've talked about it before. Like, homeless is like being behind enemy lines, and it is very true. You know, how can we as homeless people, because we don't have rights to begin with, and you know, how can we get by in sort of this this police state, right? How can we get by like that if they're going to require papers for, you know, because I assume that the next step is to not even shelter or jail. It's going to be, okay, you're homeless, go to a concentration camp. That's what we're, you know, or whatever you call it, you know? And so that's the next step. And I feel very fearful of that sort of thing. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a woodsman. I mean, I guess I can. I've done fishing before, but not really hunting and trapping game, and so that's not going to be something. You know, basically, if I'm not taken to one of these camps, you know, these internment camps where they're taking all these illegals and, or not even it's not even all illegals, right? The thing is I know my mind is like this. It's like a dumpster fire, really. And I'm thinking about it like, I'm like, okay, well, what are people seeing? Because, you know, the algorithm makes you see, you know, it feeds you on YouTube, on Google, on, you know, whatever, on Instagram and TikTok. It's feeding you what your interests are, right? So it's maybe not giving you a complete overview of what is actually happening out there, right? But that's the same for everybody. So people on the, you know, like I'm seeing a lot of MSNBC news stuff, and that seems pretty legit, right? But then you see Fox News, which is like total propagandizing stuff, right? But that's what people on the right, that's what they're saying. These conservative Christian folks, and they're saying, yeah, well, that's what I voted for. The problem is like, and people are talking about, you know, like a civil war. There's not going to be a civil war like they think, because we don't, you know, back then it was the North and the South. It was geographical. Now you've got, you know, we can't do things that way. It would be more like, I guess, the Irish IRA and like Britain, right? It would be that sort of kind of war. I don't know. I feel very trepidatious and anxious about all of it, and I don't know what, like, I don't feel like I can do anything at this point in my life. I don't feel like I can do anything. I try to put videos out there that inform people and stuff, but like, I'm pretty worried that even this video that I'm doing here, just mentioning the words authoritarian or mentioning the words, you know, like jackbooted thugs and stuff like that, that, you know, this will get banned or shadow banned or something like that, you know, and there goes the few bucks I'm making a month, you know, and I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like I have a future, you know, with this sort of thing, and I don't see anything happening. I don't see, like, the good guys, the guys in white hats, like, what are they doing to take care of this? You know, they're all going by the rules, and I think that's important to some extent, but man, it's like that whole political agenda, that whole party, the Republican Party, is just basically going off the deep end. And every day there's something new, like, anyway. It's a trepidatious time out there, guys. It's things are getting bad to worse, and you know, I do want to do a video on how to, you know, based on the history, being homeless, you have to do, you can't get out of being homeless. And if you don't want to end up in an internment camp or something like that, you've got to do things differently. You've got to blend in more. Whereas before you would just be like, oh, well, I'm going to I don't need to shave, whatever. But maybe you need to take care of yourself more. You need to stay off the main streets. It's just going to get harder and harder. I don't know the solution, but I'll keep talking about it. Hopefully that helps somebody, but this video is pretty long. I hope your road's a good one, and if you're homeless, I hope it doesn't suck for you. Take care.